Hi, my name is Jesse at Trash Panda, and in this video, I'm gonna learn how to throw 500 feet in 1 week. Alright, it's day one, and I'm gonna go out to a field and film a handful of max distance shots. From that, I wanna do two things. Firstly, gauge what my current max distance is and kind of analyze my form. And lastly, make a game plan for the rest of the week. Let's do it. Also, I'm sure people are gonna ask what disc I'll be using, so I'll list those on the screen as well. I haven't exactly decided whether slightly understable or slightly overstable will be better for this. We'll see. Also, I'm testing this in the grass, so no skippy nonsense. Alright, here's where I'm at. My current max distance is 475, with most of the discs landing around 450. So this week is really just about adding 30 to 50 feet to my current max distance. And I hope that means it'll be relatable, because I don't want this to turn into some dumb competition about who can throw the farthest. I mean, at the end of the day, distance is completely subjective. My shortest throw might be someone else's longest, and my absolute longest is probably Ezra Aderholt's shortest. So whether you're trying to hit 250 or 500 feet, just keep in mind the goal of this week is to tweak small things and analyze initial results so that we can improve distance. My personal goal is to do it with normal form and relatively flat. Yes, of course, the disc is probably going to take some small S-curve, but no sweeping Anheisers or 360s. So let's make a plan for the week. So after a bunch of research and obviously YouTube videos, here's where I'm at. First, clearly off-axis torque is a major problem for me. I'll talk about it a little more later, but that little wobble at the beginning of the flight is obviously taking off some of the distance. Second, to get that distance, I feel like I have to try really hard, and that's not my goal. After all, smooth is far. So here's my game plan. Tomorrow on day 2, I'm gonna work on off-axis torque. On day 3, I'm gonna work on generating power from my legs. On day 4, it's all about disc speed. And then on day 5, I'm gonna try to put all of that together at this long bomber course in Denver called West Creek. On day 6, I'm gonna take a rest day because I'm not crazy. And finally, on day 7, I'm gonna test my max distance and see if I can break 500. Using a Bushnell, of course. I have a feeling it's gonna be a very long week, but here we go. Alright, the very first problem I want to fix is called off-axis torque. Basically what it means is that the disc doesn't follow a straight line and angle from reach back to release. And you can see in this clip when I was teaching myself to throw flat and straight that clearly I have off-axis torque. I watched this video from Danny Lindell that helped me understand it a ton. And honestly, he's a better teacher than me, so I'll leave it linked below. So I'm gonna try to implement some of the things he talked about on this hole. It's not 500 feet, which is really good for me, I think. It means I won't try to absolutely crush it, but instead I'll try to focus on perfecting my form first. Alright, if I'm being totally honest, I don't think anything changed. In fact, I might have made it worse. Alright, Jesse from the future here, because I didn't explain very well what I was trying to do that day. If you look closely, the main problem I'm having is that as soon as I start to pull the disc through, I actually dip the nose down. And this is ultimately what's causing the disc to wobble and thus not reach its potential distance. Now, if you look at someone like Ricky Wysocki, he does this, but his discs come out clean. Mine, on the other hand, do not. So it seems the best way to fix this is to focus on the disc being flat the entire time. And on this day, that's all I was trying to do. All right, back to the video. Those ones seem to be wobbling pretty hard, so I guess we just keep trying. that felt good. Okay, I think if there's a lesson from day 2, it's just to slow down. I guess sometimes when you want to throw farther, you have to slow it down first. That lesson has yet to be proven to be true, but I guess on day 7 we'll see. But honestly, slowing down and really focusing on the reach back, I feel like I'm getting the hang of it. It's obviously really early still, and I'm not gonna fix off-axis torque in one day. Alright, if yesterday taught me anything, it's that I threw way too many times, so I'm only gonna throw like a max of 20 to 30 drives a day. So today is all about the legs, and I'm gonna work on loading up and generating most of the power from my back leg, which I learned in this video from Paige Pierce. We'll see how it works. Day 3 was a total bust. And it's not even worth boring you with the details. Basically, as soon as I started focusing on my legs, all my other bad habits came back. I'm not trying to say that Paige's advice was bad in any way. I think for me, I already load up with my legs pretty well, so I'm just gonna move on to other things. If you have helpful tips on generating power through your legs, let me and everyone else know in the comments below. As for tomorrow, I think I need to slow down even more, which is super ironic because I'm gonna be entirely focused on the speed of the disc. In 2 separate videos, one from Tristan Tanner and one from Jonathan at Latitude 64, they both say that the key to distance is making sure the disc is moving really quickly. So all I'm thinking about today is disc speed. Now that may sound totally elementary, but when you think about disc weight, that's one of the reasons it can matter so much. So in the last few days, I haven't really focused on getting to 500 feet, but today I'm about 500 feet from a basket. And if I hit the building, then I can throw 550 feet, so that'll be a good problem. Alright, honestly, I think this one's working really well. The only problem is that it's really hard to stack up all these changes. For example, I'm pretty sure while I'm trying to throw it as fast as I can, my off-axis torque is coming back. So tomorrow will be the real test when I try to put them all together. But I'm feeling really good about the progress, and I think we're gonna get 500. We'll see. Really quickly before day 5, I want to take a second to thank this video's sponsor, Flight Towel. But I have to start with a confession. For 12 years, I almost entirely neglected warming up. I know, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. But in the last year, I've gotten a lot better, and in a week where I'm trying to improve my max distance, it's a non-negotiable. Personally, I use a variation of tools and techniques to help with muscle activation and warming up. But maybe the most crucial is my flight towel. With fobs made from real discs and a towel that creates drag and resistance, a flight towel simulates an actual throw and allows you to warm up with perfect form. I found that when I simply used a disc for this, I was turning the disc to create drag and thus practicing in proper form. Whereas with a flight towel, I'm able to warm up and practice properly. And because I'm all about growing the sport sustainably, I'm super excited to announce that Flight Towel and I have teamed up to bring you a permanent line of flight towels made from used discs with my logo on the towel. So head over to Flight Towel to get yours today and snag a discount with code TRASHPANDA. Thanks again to Flight Towel, and thank you, because supporting them supports me. All right, back to the video. Alright, it's day 5 and I'm going out to West Creek Disc Golf Course to put it all together. My buddy Robbie says that the key to throwing far is playing smooth. As he would say, don't yeet the disc. And in the last few days, to be totally honest, changing different things has kind of thrown off my consistency and made it feel kind of weird trying to throw far. So today, all I'm thinking about is putting it all together slowly and smoothly. And there's one specific hole that I'm pretty excited about. Alright, this is the hole I was most excited about today. It's a 498-foot par 3. Clearly most people playing this would be playing for the 3, but this would be the type of hole where I could actually gain an extra stroke. Unfortunately today there's a pretty steady headwind, so if I can get there, that'll be a really good sign. Alright, day 5 went really well. Putting everything together can be really hard and it's gonna take a while for it to become consistent. But I'm feeling really good about this week and I think we're gonna do it. I'm due for a rest day tomorrow and then it's game time. Well, I hit 498 feet. And while I didn't hit 500 feet, I'm super happy with my progress. After all, my absolute longest throw at the beginning of the week was 475 feet with most landing around 450. Whereas today, my longest throw was 498 feet with most of them landing around 475. I mean, I'm stoked about that. So if you want to try this for yourself, I have one major tip from what I learned this week. If I was going to do this again, I would focus on one thing for 1 week. In other words, try to isolate your single biggest problem and focus on that. For me, that was off-axis torque. On days 3 and 4, I tried to do things that would help me throw smooth, but I think it really just distracted me from my biggest problem. I wish I had just spent the entire week focused on off-axis torque. So, I didn't hit my exact goal, but I had a hell of a time trying, and I'm really grateful you joined me. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to support the channel, and we'll see you next time. All right, if you stuck around this long, just for fun, let's see how far we could throw a 360.